Oh, hello, yeah. Well, bit of a turn up for the books, isn't it? Yeah, the party that warned you about fighting age men who, well, don't have this country's best interests at heart finds itself, distancing itself from somebody taking bribes from the Kremlin. Leads to loads and loads of very awkward questions for Mr. Farage, doesn't it? Yes. It's not been a good week for him, so I imagine that he's going to decide not to do any interviews with anybody in a hurry because they might ask some questions. So maybe next Monday's press conference on whatever brilliant idea they're going to come up with next won't feature Mr. Farage. Anyway, talking of people with dodgy Russian ties, of course, we've had the COVID inquiry, which has managed to get the right-wing press a bit cross because apparently it's all been a big waste of money. Yes, I know, you can't really make that up in terms of the level of irony, yes. The people that paid billions for an app that didn't work. Where'd the money go, Dido? All that kind of thing. Still, anyway, we had this from Lord David Frost. This COVID inquiry report is a disgrace. Shame on those who produced it. What an utter and incompetent waste of time. What an utter and complete waste of time and money this process has been. Yes, because apparently what should have happened is that, well, rather than having a deeply incompetent government in place, what we should have had was a deeply incompetent government in place that could see into the future and decide that COVID wasn't going to kill many people, which is very easy to do from, well, this end of the telescope, isn't it? But Lord David Frost here manages to, well, just avoid about 200 years of public health medicine and just decide that it was nothing to do with him, even though he was in the government with all of his mates. Yeah, his mates that, made him a lord, put him in cabinet, didn't they? Yes. Anyway, of course, he famously walked away because of the dreadful things that were happening with COVID. And it was a bit of a, fecal show, wasn't it? Yes, we managed to spend a great deal more money than other people and still ended up with vast numbers of dead people. It wasn't done well. Maybe if it had been done well, we wouldn't be here. But we are, aren't we? So we have to have an inquiry, which I imagine is just simply going to drift off and nobody will actually once again be held accountable. Where's all the PPE? Yes. Where's the billions on track and trace? Where are they? And the answer is, well, yes, it was just one of those things, and let's move on because there are other things to think about. And anyway, the Labour Party are really bad. How true indeed. But there are many, many things that do need to be unpacked because you see, somebody that's done a little bit of work in public health medicine. Yes, I know I've done loads of different jobs in my time. I know. But anyway, yeah, back in Leeds, back in the day, in the early 90s, I was a public health researcher. One of the things that I've done. And, you understand from that there are certain things that are very, very good ideas to do. And we had a, sort of like state-of-the-art public health medicine service. And in terms of planning for things like epidemics, in the 90s, it was absolutely superb and on top of it. And then, well, fast forward to 2010, and various people decided that they were just going to make some savings. Yes, that whole austerity thing. So there was no point in really spending very much money on, stockpiling PPE, or at least you could spend a lot of money on stockpiling PPE, but, the company that does it, because companies don't have to actually comply with the law, according to the Tories, just decided to let it rot in a warehouse. So we didn't get that. And then you can just, farm out the contracts to your mates who don't have to supply it as well. And so the story goes on. Yes. I mean, this was a government, what with Lord Frost involved in it, that basically just doesn't believe that government can do things. But oddly, those governments that did do various things fared better. Now, you can easily point the finger about, whether or not we should have locked down X, Y, Z or time. But basically, there will be a huge epidemic. And it will kill a lot of people. And one of the problems now is that we'll have loads and loads of people that go, oh, well, it should be just like COVID, won't it? Yes. But you see, by the time we realise it isn't COVID, it'll be really, really serious. And I, personally, like during COVID, don't want to be one of the dead people. I remember saying to my MP at the time, I don't want to be sacrificed on the altar of the economy. Still, never mind, eh? I suppose we just can, because we are just but the small people. We're not important people like Boris Johnson or Nigel Farage or Lord Frost. You know, the ones that always just walk away with loads more money. Yes, we're just the stupid minions like Nathan Gill that think we might be intelligent, but let's face it, the game isn't really going to be played by rules other than, well, from the people above us. Do have a lovely day if you can do, and remember, don't take money to spout nonsense. It's probably going to be a bad idea. Strange that Farage was saying exactly the same things. Was he doing it for free? Hard to tell. Maybe we can, ask some of the people he used to work with back on RT. Maybe. Do have a lovely day. Do stay dry. It's gonna, tip it down, I think, would be the thing. Yeah. Wet and cold. Hurrah!